C'est vrai que je parle français, mais alors je suis le ministre des Affaires étrangères d'Australie et il faut parler en anglais si vous êtes australien.
With Alexander Downer trying to trump Kevin Rudd's Mandarin with a burst of French, and both men comparing Australia's relationship with the United States to the ones they have with their wives. Connor Duffy reports from Canberra.
By the toss of a coin, Alexander Downer won the right to choose the order of speakers, and he will open the batting. Please welcome the Minister, Alexander Downer.
Australia's longest-serving Foreign Minister used his opening address to argue that the government's foreign policy had enriched the nation, and he promised there was more to come.
In the next term of government, we'll work towards free trade agreements with countries like Japan, China, Malaysia, all 10 of the ASEAN countries, and Chile.
When Labor's foreign spokesman Robert McClelland took to the stage, he painted a very different picture.
One of the first acts of the Howard government was to remove as an objective of Australia's foreign policy the objective of being a good international citizen. The loss of our reputation as a good international citizen has unquestionably been directly contrary to Australia's national interests.
Both opening statements were fairly dull, and the real action in these debates always gets underway when questions are taken from the floor. One of the first topics raised was the Foreign Minister's depiction of Kevin Rudd as a show-off for speaking Mandarin at APEC.
I was in DFAT, Kevin Rudd was in DFAT. In life you come across boys who are show-offs. And, you know, I'm more self-confident than that. C'est vrai que je parle français, mais alors je suis le ministre des Affaires étrangères d'Australie et il faut parler en anglais si vous êtes australien. That doesn't deserve applause. That is not clever.
Robert McClelland was genuinely humble.
Well, I can't speak Mandarin, I must say, but I've eaten one or two in my time.
It's good. And Kevin's eaten you too.
The humour continued, with Robert McClelland promising Labor would ensure Australia had a more independent relationship with the United States. He used his wife to illustrate the point.
A good relationship, a good partnership, as indeed is the relationship between myself and my wife, is one where neither party is beholden to the other.
Well, my wife and I are married to each other and we love each other and we do many things together.
The laughter had certainly stopped when attention turned to Iraq, with Robert McClelland spruiking Labor's commitment to a staged withdrawal of Australia's 550 combat troops.
Iraq has been a disaster. The government should accept responsibility for that. That unquestionably, it's been a humanitarian disaster, it's been a strategic disaster, it has emboldened Iran, unquestionably emboldened Iran in the Middle East. It has unquestionably given international terrorism a recruitment catch cry.
When pressed, Alexander Downer said that if he had his time again, he would still support the invasion.
I don't understand the Labor Party's position. They say, on the one hand, Iraq's all a terrible disaster and we should get out of Iraq, and on the other hand, we should leave 2/3 of the troops we've deployed there. It's Kevin Rudd through and through that. It's all about slogans and stunts, but it's not about policy substance.
Robert McClelland argued that involvement in Iraq had prevented the government from fighting terrorism at home, prompting a passionate exchange as the debate drew to a close.
Iraq has been a distraction from addressing the priorities in our region. I mean, when was the last time you heard a government minister talking about the challenge of international terrorism, in particular training camps in southern Philippines, bordering the regions of Philippines, Malaysia and Indonesia? We live in a dangerous neighbourhood.
It's a long time, says Robert, since I heard a minister of the government talk about terrorism in the Philippines. I wonder how many of you agree with that. I mentioned it in my speech today. It's a long time. Yeah, look, it's 15 minutes.
Le ministre des Affaires étrangères d'Australie, as he calls himself, the Foreign Minister Alexander Downer, ending that report from Connor Duffy.
C'est vrai que je parle français, mais alors je suis le ministre des Affaires étrangères d'Australie et il faut parler en anglais si vous êtes australien.